Monk?
Yo,
Monk, why are you in here by yourself?
who is this? Oh, that's Michael. What's good?
So why are you in here by yourself?
Oh, I'm in here just just in case since I'm streaming both of DCNX playoff games. So if anybody wants to stop by, watch the stream while I share screen this, they can.
Perfect. So I'm gonna get somebody in the car.
All right.
Get in. Carlos is here. So
What's good?
somebody. John, I was gonna get Josh too, but he's AFK.
I will go on deafen, but I'll have my screen shared.
Okay. Well, let me. Let me copy ID. Carlos, you never go to sleep, please, shush.
Yo, gang. I did shoot just. How about you
Oh.
come back from 50?
Can you rejoin for me?
Yeah, I got you.
What's your display name?
Oh, it's always changed.
Oh, okay.
Alright, yeah, you can
Are
join.
you almost speak also?
Alright, you can join me. I'll pull.
All right. Thank you.
You own this stage also.
Yeah, I'm one of the owners. Yeah.
You own two leagues then.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't count myself as a primary owner. I'm secondary owner.
Yo,
Yo, what up?
What happened in the TV game? I wasn't even watching.
So basically, what happened is the game is now under review because in the fourth quarter, Philadelphia handed the ball off to their offensive lineman in a red zone. What he did was he trucked the Cleveland defender and walked right into the end zone. So that truck is illegal in the CNX rulebook. So what I'm looking at is we might have to deduct that touchdown. And due to the game being close, we deduct that touchdown. Cleveland would win 40-34 because Philly had 41, Cleveland had 40. Take away that touchdown, Cleveland wins because it's remove of impact. And everything, and what Philly doesn't seem to understand is this league is different than any other league. Like they can't be throwing off other leagues when different leagues run things differently. So the way CNX handles it, and I've been in this league since the beginning of season 1. I've been in this league for the longest out of anyone in here. So how this league runs is whenever something happens during a game, we don't handle it during a game. We handle it after the game. Yeah. So this is a post-game league. So this is the way CNX handles things, and we're gonna continue, to handle it that way. It doesn't matter, if Poke or Corrupt is offline or anything like that. We're still doing the same thing, and that's what Philadelphia doesn't understand. And they're saying that I didn't make the announcement, but they should know. I mean, if they look at the verdicts channel, they would see a lot of games that's been decided on post-game challenges. Not by just players, but just challenges from CNX moderators. And I'll give you an example of how this, of like an, I'll give you an example of like this actually going down. So when I played against Detroit last season in the Sweet 16, their team was not in a VC, so we actually lost to Detroit. But Corrupt, one of my DMs, told me to make a ticket. So that's one way that CNX moderators handles stuff after the game. Not only was Detroit not in a VC, but they had an illegal walk on. And the commissioners knew it, but we didn't know it. So that's one way that CNX, handles things after the game. And we're going to continue, to handle things that way.
I'm confused how I made this hard. Yo, I played you. You had so many reads on the quarterback.
But yeah.
Oh, it was in that game when I was driving the quarterback.
I got it, bro. You got a gun?
All right, so I'm a deafen right now. Kuvi, we're gonna discuss this game. Um,
Just DM me with any updates.
yeah, don't leave yet. I wouldn't recommend you leave the league or just try to keep your team in the league. Yeah. So for right now, your season is not over. We're gonna handle things on a moderation side of things, and we're gonna let you know after this Ravens Saints game.
Okay, is that going to be is that going to stay the same or redo it?
In my eyes, it's either a Cleveland win because remove of impact, or what the moderators are, you know, suggesting a redo.
I'm fine. Just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know after this Ravens Saints game, as we got an interception from number 0, and he's gonna fumble. Defense recovers. Baltimore still has the ball. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen right now. All right, we have number 2 at quarterback. He's rolling to the right side. He has good protection. He's gonna throw it to the left fold. That is number 45, illegal touching. We have number 2 at quarterback. All right, I'm gonna go on deafen. All right. All right, we got number 2 at quarterback. He's going to throw it to the middle of the field. That is number 4. He's going to make a couple guys miss. Take it for 35 yards in a first down. That's a first down for Baltimore. All right, we got number 2 going into number 1. He's going to make a guy miss. One of them hit stick. All right, we got number 11. He's going to walk it in for a touchdown. Sorry, I'm just handling 2 things at the same time about that challenge from the Eagles Browns. Yeah, that is Zara with the receiving touchdown. And a kick is good. Oh, we have good catch. All right, we got a deep ball and it's picked off. Sorry, I'm gonna focus on this game now. All right, I'm back. Had had some things to do. All right, we got a lob over it and it's swatted. All right, we got a BC play. We got a in slant to Duke LFG. Touchdown, Baltimore. Baltimore's gonna extend their lead. If they make this kick, it's 27-13. Delay of game. Alright, we're gonna have a bomb. Alright, we're at halftime. Baltimore is up 26-13. Alright, we're gonna see who gets the ball. Okay, so it says Baltimore deferred. So Carolina started with the ball. I mean, not Carolina, but alright. I don't know who's the Saints quarterback. Okay, it's Book Beam. Okay, that's just a terrible tight end, or yeah, that's a tight end. Unless he was too close to the quarterback. But we got Book beamed, about to get a lane to the right side, and he's gonna get the first down for New Orleans. Alright, we got Book beamed on the left side. As he's gonna throw it to, I'm not pronouncing that name. I'm not. I'm good on that. But they're gonna get 4 yards off of that. Alright, we got Book beamed on the right side. He has a tight end. He's going deep. Yeah, that is just forced into double coverage. That's an interception. Alright, we got number 2. I'm just gonna call him number 2. I don't know his name. But he's gonna pass it to one of the streets. Alright, we got a first and goal for Baltimore. As we got a lob over. Incomplete. And he runs to his own end zone for the safety. This is bad for New Orleans. Yo, what the fuck? Alright, I'ma lock in. This monk dude gotta lock in, bro. Alright, we got 3rd and 3 inside New Orleans 20. Alright, we got number 2. He's on the right side. He has pressure, but good protection. And nowhere near number 56. Oh, we got a design run from number 2. He's going to get the first down and keep this drive alive for Baltimore. We got number 2. We got an in slant from number 56. We got a lob over. Incomplete. Alright, we got a... What? How did that bounce off from the ground? Anyways, we have a blocked field goal. Oh, that's Adam Killer. Alright, we got Book beamed in his own end zone. He's going to throw it to the middle. caught, but unable to secure the catch. It was popped. We got book beamed on the right side. I don't know where that was supposed to go. Alright, we got number 2 on the left side. He's going to throw it to number 23. He's bouncing out to the outside. And he is going to take it to the crib. Man, this is just a boring game. And rightfully so. Because Carolina not Carolina, New Orleans just can't seem to move the ball. Alright, we got book beamed. You know what? That's someone who would have been cut from the team if I was the team owner. But I ain't gonna go harsh on him. Oh my god. What am I looking at? Alright, we got book beamed going deep. And we have an overthrow. Yeah, this is just a boring game. It's worth talking to the hubs than looking at this game. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. We have number 2 checking down to... I'm not pronouncing this dude, even though I know him. I'm just not pronouncing that name. We have another tech down, and he fumbles. The ball is spinning out of the stadium. I don't know where the ball went. Hello? Bro, what just happened? What just happened? Alright, we got number 2 going to the left side. Wow! He caught that? Yo, that's actually a good catch. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's a good catch. Wow. Yo, what a catch. Alright, we're gonna get a 4th and 25 attempt. I mean, New Orleans. Alright, we got book beamed on a 4th and 25. He's throwing it to the middle, and it's picked off by number 45. Damn, my knee. Yo. Yeah, so basically, CNX has handled stuff like this in the past. So, how CNX handled it was basically after the game, like I'll bring up last season. So, Alice Houston, we played against Detroit. So, we were in our VC, our assigned VC. Wait, I don't think I can hear y'all. I'm gonna rejoin. Okay, now I can hear you guys. Yo, okay. Do you hear me? Both of you?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Alright. So, basically, how the league has handled things in the past, and I've been here for the longest. Me and San has been here since season 1. But how CNX has handled things, like I'm talking about Poke and Corrupt, and how they handled it was, I'll bring up last year. we were playing against Detroit in the Sweet 16 of the CNX playoffs. We were in our designated VC in this server, but Detroit wasn't. So they had their own TC or group chat. They were in there, and they had an illegal walk-on that we didn't know about. But behind the scenes, Poke and Corrupt, checked every team out, and boom, they found an illegal walk-on Detroit. So after the game, in which we lost, Corrupt told me to check the ticket. I mean, not check the ticket, make a ticket. And I was like, questioning him, like, why? Because I wasn't expecting a FFW. And he said, just make a ticket. So I did, and there you go. They told me that I'm getting an FFW because, Detroit wasn't in the VC and they had an illegal walk-on. And I'll forward it to you because they actually made a verdict of this last season. And they were going to remove the impact because Poke was in my DMs and he was asking me if I got the stats, and I told him no. But it's important that he asked me that because if I did have the stats, they were going to remove the impact because the game was close. So it would have been negative 14 points, I think. Let me scroll up in the verdicts channel. Yeah, it would have been.
But I think it's a little different in this case, though.
Yeah, because the truck.
Was a truck.
And also, there was zero challenge, after the play. And then I heard that this happened in, the second or third quarter, and there was no challenge whatsoever. I almost wanted to...
No, it happened in the fourth quarter. The truck happened in the fourth quarter.
Oh. Well, I was told it was in, the middle of the game. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what down it was?
Good question. I'm gonna have to...
Because,
It was in a red zone for sure.
yeah, I mean, it was an O-line handoff, so
Yeah.
1 and 2. But if it was on fourth or third down, then that changes things. Because I think the call, if there was a ref in the game, the call would have been they lose the down and there's a 10-yard flag on it, and the score gets called back, obviously.
Well, I mean, technically, I could be a ref. I could have been a referee, but that's not how I handle things. That's not how CNX handles stuff like that.
Handle it after the game.
Yeah, because this is a post-game league.
Yeah.
So post-game means everything that goes on in the game happens after the game when things are challenged.
For a second. Bro, did you see that the Saints are coming back right now?
Yeah.
28-point deficit. I just looked for the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're down by 1 score now.
Yeah, if they make this kick, it's 47-40. And you have another 4th and 25.
Yeah, and they also got AP7 here, so they got big advantage.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. We are so cooked. We are so cooked, bro.
We're gonna get
body, bro. Bro, and look, I know I told you, bro. The other team legit is hooks out today so that they can force on us AP7 tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, they were dunking today when we had 8 people.
Oh, he's wide open! Don't overdo it! Oh my god! No way!
I clipped that. No way.
No!
Get it.
That is bad. That is bad.
You want to play?
Oh my god. Ain't no way. Ain't no way he just dropped that. That is bad. Low key, man, if it was me, I'm suspending that guy. Wow, that wide receiver sold.